Please enter the current time. Where's my mouse gone? That's not the current time. Wait, what are you doing? I'll click that in a second. What am I doing? The first time you boot up the game, you set the time to 7:25 PM. That was fantastic. You did a great job with that one. But this time you simply entered 12 o'clock, the default value. You didn't even try. I have to say I'm a little bit disappointed. Perhaps you don't think that it is worth taking the time to set the clocks correctly. Do you think I would ask you to set the clock if it weren't an integral part of the gameplay experience? I'm not trying to get angry. It's just a lot of people ignore these gameplay settings altogether. You're not like them, right? Look, next time you boot up the game and see the screen, do me a favour and actually set the time, okay? Okay, good. Glad we had this talk. Alright, I'll let you get back to the video game now. So I've got 2 achievements, don't jump, and I have get your first achievement. And the first time I booted it up, it said, "Hello, can you do me a favour? Please set the time." Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe version. You saw my last video, the Stanley Parable full game. That was the 2013 edition, and it got 40 views as of time recording, with 11 likes and 2 comments. Thank you, my friends. Thank you for, I say friends because you're all my friends, you're my viewers, and it means a lot that people are watching that video. And I know that people were hoping it was the Ultra Deluxe, but it wasn't. This is, you're getting the Ultra Deluxe. How are we going to play this out? I don't know anything about this game. I'm completely blind. So, we're going to press play, and we're just going to see where it goes. If the endings are the same, we'll go through a few of them, close the book, and wait until something new happens. So, let's do that, I guess. The end is never the end, is never the end, is never the end, is never the end.
This is the story of a man named Stanley. Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number 427. Employee number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on a keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor on his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order. This is what employee 427 did every day of every month of every year. And although others might have considered it soul-rending, Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in, as though he had been made exactly for this job. And Stanley was happy. And then one day, something very peculiar happened. Something that would forever change Stanley. Something he would never quite forget. He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived on the monitor for him to follow. No one had showed up to give him instructions, call a meeting, or even say hi. Never in all his years at the company had this happened, this complete isolation. Something was very clearly wrong. Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his office.
Welcome back. Third achievement. That fan's a bit loud. We're gonna do it. There's an achievement in the old game where if you click the door 5 times, narrator, you'll see.
Oh, please. Are you really just doing this for the achievement? click a door 5 times? Is that all that you think an achievement is worth? No. I can't just give these merits away for such little effort. A measly 5 clicks. Now suppose you were to click the door 20 times. I would say that's the kind of effort that warrants recognition.
One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20.
I have to say, I'm still not feeling the satisfaction of witnessing true effort for a noble cause. Perhaps 50 clicks will do it. Yes, almost certainly 50 clicks.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49.
No, I'm still not feeling it. I want this achievement to have
Okay.
meant something. It has to be a true reward for valiant effort. I want to see some hustle, Stanley. I want to see commitment, a willingness to go all the way, no matter what the cost. Why don't you go put 20 clicks into door number 417?
426, 425, 420, 23, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16.
Oh, great. Now, go click a few times on door 437.
Right, that's this way. Wait, if that's door 426, why is 427 all the way over there?
Excellent. I think we're getting somewhere.
The number
Now,
system in
door
this office-
415. Let's give it 10 clicks or so.
The door system in this office does not make sense. Or does it? I don't know. I don't know. 415.
Now, back to door number 437.
Right. This is all for an achievement. Oh, there we go.
Let's see. How about you click on, well, I don't know, the copy machine? All right, back to room 417. I'm really feeling it now. I think we're getting somewhere.
Don't forget to do that.
Okay, now go climb on employee 419's desk.
Where's 41? Wait a second. Ah, there we go.
Yes! This is great! You're putting it all on the line, Stanley. I like that. All right, let's keep it up. Go give me a few clicks on door 416. We've almost got it! Now the copy machine, do that one again!
The narrator is hyped.
Finish it off, Stanley! 5 clicks on door 430. Yes! We did it! Oh, wow. That felt amazing. Oh, you really earned it, Stanley. Nothing could hold you back. Yes, I'm very proud of how far we've come today. Just think, only a few minutes ago you believed an achievement was worth 5 little clicks. Really now, what were you thinking?
Right, I want to see if this ending has changed.
At first, Stanley assumed he'd broken the map, until he heard this narration and realized it was part of the game's design all along. He then praised the game for its insightful and witty commentary into the nature of video game structure and its examination of structural narrative tropes. So, now that you're here, what do you think? Isn't this a fun and unique place to be? Why don't we take a minute just to drink it all in?
I do like the subtitles
Okay,
now.
I'm over it now. What do you think? Are you sick of this gag yet?
Instead of putting all of the text in one, it's to his speech.
Well, I don't know how to say this politely, but you could literally just hit escape and restart the game any
want to
old
listen to your
time
song.
you want. Like right now. You could have done it just then.
Music.
Now would also be an
music.
appropriate time to quit. Any of these points and so many, many more, all of them are appropriate. I'm enjoying what seems to be an internal conflict going on where you are literally unable to act on your own desires to restart the game. So, just to push the envelope, I'm going to try and make this as miserable as possible and see how long you can maintain. There once was a man named Stanley, who people considered so manly. But the truth must be told, he was not very old and was quite particularly gangly. What Stanley liked most was buttons. He pushed them like some kind of glutton. He did it all day in a meaningful way, but his brain had long ceased to function. Which is why he is in this parable and lives an existence quite terrible. And if you are not strong and keep playing along, you too will become quite unbearable. Yes. You too will become quite unbearable.
Nice. I love the new UI system as well.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
I kind of want to go through all the endings. So if I do find anything new, I kind of want to go through all the endings again. So I might do a quick editing compilation of all the endings, so you don't have to come along with me with everything. Although that will still take an hour. This video might just be the old endings. If I find something new, I might be like, okay, cool, I've acknowledged that you're new, but we want to do the old endings to see if they've changed, if anything's different when you're doing the thing. Like the story, like the adventure line. I want to see, because, you know, they might hide stuff. I don't know. This is all exciting.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Do we follow the narrator or do we not follow the narrator? We'll follow the narrator first of all. I also want to see the museum.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
Nothing's changed here. Ah.
Stanley stepped into the broom closet, but there was nothing here, so he turned around and got back on track.
We done that in the last video if you want to see what
Coming
happens
to a
when you're in there.
staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
To be rich is a crime. To commit crimes isn't it rich? What a life it would be to have to pick just one. This is nice. Ah, it's shut behind us. Oh. Have we found the secret? Stanley. It's the narrator. I never found this. I never knew this was in the game. Or maybe it's new. Oh, we're here again. Okay, why don't we go down? Okay, it's more the same. I guess that's just a nice little secret. That's nice. Right, isn't it 2584?
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this, what dark secret was being held from him. What he could not have known was that the keypad behind the boss's desk guarded the terrible truth that his boss had been keeping from him. And so the boss had assigned it an extra secret PIN number, 2845. But of course, Stanley couldn't possibly have known this. Yet incredibly, by simply pushing random buttons on the keypad, Stanley happened to input the correct code by sheer luck. Amazing. He stepped into the newly opened passageway.
This lighting's nice. It's a lot darker.
Descending deeper into the building, Stanley realized he felt a bit peculiar. It was a stirring of emotion in his chest, as though he felt more free to think for himself, to question the nature of his job. Why did he feel this now, when for years it had never occurred to him? This question would not go unanswered for long. Whoops, nope, never mind. Stanley actually got back into the elevator and went back up. Silly me. Why did Stanley do that when he knew that it would just lead back to his boss's office? Well, that's a great question. I just can't wait to find out.
What? That was never in the original game. That turned off. What? What?
Here we are, Stanley. It's your boss's office. Exactly the way it was before you got onto the elevator. It's still just exactly what it is. What a decision you've made to come up here and look at the office again. This has fleshed out the plot of the story in new and fascinating ways I could have never anticipated. It's that keen eye for storytelling that you have, an incisive rapid fire of critical plot points, one after the other, weaving a rich tapestry of uncompromising narrative. Wow! I'm bolted to the edge of my seat.
Wait. I never realised that was actually a thing. Can we... Oh, we can go down.
Incredible. Now he's getting back into the elevator and going down again. Ladies and gentlemen, how does he keep coming up with all of this?
Oh!
Did you think we were going to go forward down the spooky corridor? No. It's time once again to go back up in the elevator. I can't even begin to grapple with what might be up there. Is it the boss's office again? Or what if it's the boss's office this time? The suspense is killing me.
I lost luck. I just looked behind me and I could press it. I didn't know. Oh, this is such a unique thing to find.
Oh my god. It's the boss's office. This absolutely changes everything for me. Give me a time out here for a minute while I process.
Does these doors open yet? Oh.
Okay, I'm ready. I'm prepared to embrace this stunning revelation and to move forward with... No! No, wait! No! I need more time to process. All right. I have fully come to terms with it. I have made space in my worldview for this astonishing new reality. As before, I turn to your expert eye for gripping narrative, Master Stanley.
Okay, let's go back down again.
Of course. going back down in the elevator. How did I not anticipate it? I mean, sure, now it's obvious, but you have to understand that 30 seconds ago, this kind of thing had never been attempted before. I had no frame of reference to even anticipate it. That's just how revelatory Stanley's decision-making is, a breath of fresh air in a landscape of storytelling that has grown stale and repetitive.
If it lets us go back up the elevator, I swear. He's just cuts the black straight away.
You know what? I've just thought of something. Hold on, let's stop for a moment. Don't you realize? It's the anticipation, Stanley. You and I, we have no way of knowing what will be at the top of this elevator. But the suspense, the agony of waiting and anticipating and having to guess, that's the real thrill. Oh, I simply don't want to let that feeling go. It's so precious, so fleeting. Why don't we take this elevator ride nice and slow? There we go. Isn't this so much more exciting? You know, Stanley, it seems like nowadays the only thing that audiences want is to be shocked as loudly and frequently as possible. They want big, explosive moments flung right in their faces from the very moment that things get started. But where's the tension? Where's the trust in the audience to build a slow and nuanced appreciation for the story, the characters? Why aren't we given time to imagine the surprises, to have to think and to anticipate and then to marvel at the eventual reveal? This is storytelling, Stanley. What you and I are doing right now. This is the most exciting narrative to be developed in years, and it's really all because of you. You're the one who took this bold step of revisiting the exact same locations over and over. Truly, I mean it. This is unique and different. It's not like anything else out there. You see, I want stories that surprise me, Stanley. I want to have to think. I want to be engaged and not pandered to. We're being fed such unimaginative drivel all the time, and we all know it, which is why we're so starved for content that makes us feel sharp and vital and alive. That's why people like you so much, Stanley, because you're not afraid to spit in the face of tradition. You're a role model, you know? People look up to you. Which is why, oh, I didn't know when to spring this on you, but, well, I've gathered a little press conference for you, so that you can talk about your work and your storytelling and your life. Yes, I know you're not much for the public eye, but I thought it would especially mean a lot to the people who have been following you from the beginning. They really look up to you, Stanley. I don't know if you realize the impact you have on them. This is the kind of gesture that might leave a tremendous impact on them for the better. Oh, good, we're here. Okay, the room where we're holding the press conference should be just around the corner here somewhere.
This is all new. All eyes on Stanley, live on
Ah, yes, here it is, just through this door. All right, are you ready? I've told them you're going to speak a little bit about the nature of surprise in storytelling and what it means to craft a truly unpredictable narrative. Oh, don't worry, you'll do great. Just be yourself and speak from the heart. I'm really proud of you, Stanley. Okay, it looks like they're ready for you. Go get 'em.
Up, down, up again, down again. The Stanley story. The story. And unfortunate and unforgiving account ups as well as downs. Highs and lows, isn't that what life's about? Congratulations, Stanley. Remember where you came from. Your co-workers. An audience with the dude who came up with pizza. What the hell? What the? What the? I have never... Oh, that's new. Wow. Oh, God. I see. So, I wonder if... So, okay, so a few of the YouTubers I subscribe to have played this game, and I haven't watched anything. I've been spoiler free. I wonder if they got that. Because the first thing you would do is check new endings. Isn't it? Or check old endings.
All of his co-workers were gone.
I'm confused.
What could it mean?
Well, no,
Stanley
I'm not
decided to
confused.
go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
That was a pleasant surprise. Door there. I wanted to check these doors. I did say I wanted to check these doors.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Yeah, we're going to do the actual ending now.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office. Oh no, no, not again. I won't be part of this. I'm not going to encourage you. I'm not going to say... Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
I wonder if this has anything changed. Nope, it's the same.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Stanley was in such a rush to get through the story as quickly as possible, he didn't even have a single minute to just let the narrator talk. That kind of anxiety isn't healthy, so he relaxed for a few moments with some calming New Age music. Feeling soothed and rejuvenated, Stanley calmly walked forward into the opened passageway.
There we go. What's round here? Nothing. It closed. Okay. We've done that ending now. Let's just...
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
Let's see if this ending has changed.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out? Now the monitors jumped to life, their true nature revealed. Each bore the number of an employee in the building, Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen, and Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing.
There we are. Here's our office.
This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly?
Yeah.
No, he refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control? Never. It was unthinkable. Wasn't it? Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world?
I swear this is shorter as well.
But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions. Happy, or sad, or content. Walking, eating, working. All of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he would dismantle the controls once and for all. Blackness and a rising chill of uncertainty. Was it over? Yes! He had won! He had defeated the machine, unshackled himself from someone else's command. Freedom was mere moments away. And yet, even as the immense door slowly opened, Stanley reflected on how many puzzles still lay unsolved. Where had his co-workers gone? How had he been freed from the machine's grasp? What other mysteries did this strange building hold? But as sunlight streamed into the chamber, he realized none of this mattered to him, for it was not knowledge or even power that he had been seeking, but happiness. Perhaps his goal had not been to understand, but to let go. No longer would anyone tell him where to go, what to do, or how to feel. Whatever life he lives, it will be his. And that was all he needed to know. It was perhaps the only thing worth knowing. Stanley stepped through the open door. Stanley felt the cool breeze upon his skin, the feeling of liberation, the immense possibility of the new path before him. This was exactly the way, right now, that things were meant to happen. And Stanley was happy.
What a weird place for an office to be. Oh, it's the mind control facility, isn't it? But still. Beat the game. See, that achievement confuses me, because is that the end? Is that the end? Is that like the true ending, the happy ending? It's the happy ending, I guess. The true ending is the ending with the credits.
Stanley had never seen the office this brightly lit. Was it a sign of something? He hoped it was. He hoped very much that it was.
Make sure I find the place where it's got input. No. There's a few other endings that I want to have a look at. There's a few other endings that I want to have a look at.
When Stanley came to a set of two open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Yeah, I know.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office. Okay, I think we all know the drill by now. Blah, blah, blah. Dark secrets, the keypad. Stanley pushes some buttons. Oh, hey, look, it's a new passageway. Quelle surprise. Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility. Although this passageway had the word Escape written on it, the truth was that at the end of this hall, Stanley would meet his violent death. The door behind him was not shut. Stanley still had every opportunity to turn around and get back on track. At this point, Stanley was making a conscious, concerted effort to walk forward and willingly confront his death.
I want to see the museum.
As the machine whirred into motion and Stanley was inched closer and closer to his demise, he reflected that his life had been of no consequence whatsoever. Stanley can't see the bigger picture. He doesn't know the real story, trapped forever in his narrow vision of what this world is. Perhaps his death was of no great loss, like plucking the eyeballs from a blind man. And so he resigned and willingly accepted this violent end to his brief and shallow life. Farewell, Stanley.
"Farewell, Stanley," cried the narrator, as Stanley was led helplessly into the enormous metal jaws. In a single visceral instant, Stanley was obliterated as the machine crushed every bone in his body, killing him instantly.
Ah, it doesn't say Ultra Deluxe.
And yet it would be just a few minutes before Stanley would restart the game, back in his office, as alive as ever. What exactly did the narrator think he was going to accomplish? When every path you can walk has been created for you long in advance, death becomes meaningless, making life the same. Do you see now? Do you see that Stanley was already dead from the moment he hit start?
This credit board is a bit bigger, I swear. I don't know how much of this has changed.
I'm just going to make this easy on you. Let's see. Stanley walked through the green door. Where were all of his co-workers? Oh, I don't know. How about they're throwing a surprise party for him for all his button pushing? Does that sound plausible to you?
Right, I don't think much has changed here. Yeah, not much has changed. Right, begin again.
Hi, Stanley. Just wanted to leave you a message to let you know there's a few things I need you to pick up on your way home from work today. We need milk, cereal, dish soap, spaghetti, get a thing of sugar, some bread, and coffee beans, whichever ones you like. I'll give you a call if there's anything I forgot. Thanks, sweetie. See you tonight.
Right.
When Stanley came to a
This way
set
now.
of two open doors, this was not the correct way to the meeting room,
Yeah, I know.
and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
That's new. Oh, let me in there. That's new. That's fair. I swear that's bigger. The gap.
Ah, yes, truly a room worth admiring.
Yeah,
It had really been worth, but
Yeah.
eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
Ah, trying to get me back on track. Not gonna work.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago. Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing. What? Really? I was in the middle of something. Do you have zero consideration for others? Are you that convinced that I want something bad to happen to you? Why, I don't know how to convince you of this, but I really do want to help you.
I think the original game had 19 endings, and I think it's now up to 42 endings. So, assuming we do everything we need to do in this part 1 of the video, we'll go through all the endings to see what we can find. Because everything looks the same at the
Show
moment.
you something
I mean, apart from that
beautiful.
one ending that we had.
Look, let me prove it.
I haven't
Let
seen
me
anything
prove
new at the
that
moment.
I'm on your side. Give me a chance. Now listen carefully, this is important. Stanley walked through the red door. Aha, perhaps you misunderstood. Stanley walked through the red door. I still don't think we're communicating properly. All right, fine, go ahead, Stanley. You want to know so badly what's out there? You want to find out what lies at the end of this road you've chosen? Well, don't let me stop you. You see? There's nothing here. I haven't even finished building this section of the map, because you were never supposed to be here in the first place. Broken rooms, exposed developer textures. Is this what you had wanted? Was it worth ruining the entire story I had written out specifically for you? Do you not think I put a lot of time into that? Because I did. And in the end, it was all for nothing, because this is what you wanted to see. Help me here, Stanley. Help elucidate these strange and unknowable desires of yours. What would have made this game better? What did you want to see? Vehicles? Skill trees? Work with me. You've given me absolutely nothing so far. Tell you what, let me take a stab in the dark at a new design, and you can give me some feedback. There we go. A third option. This already feels leaps ahead of where we were before. Go ahead, Stanley. Take it for a spin. Okay, I'm going to stop you there. Now, tell me about your experience with this new version. Would you say that the game benefited from allowing you more choices? Feel free to be honest. I'm looking for some real critical feedback here.
I like that new choice. Let's give it a 4.
Okay, so we're getting somewhere. Clearly there's something here that speaks to you. If I can be honest here, I really don't have any idea where I'm going with this. This whole third door thing was just a stab in the dark.
Probably going to cut a lot of this out,
so
it's the same as
let's
the
keep
last
this
video.
party train rolling. Here, based on the data from your previous playthrough, I've compiled a new version. And to be perfectly candid, I think I've knocked it out of the park with this one. Let's take a look. Now, would you say that competitive leaderboard helped you feel motivated to keep walking through doors? Again, honest answers, please. Hey, I nearly forgot. I've got a prototype of a new game I've been working on, and now would be a lovely opportunity to give it some playtesting. You wouldn't mind taking a look at it, would you? Perfect. Let me boot it up. In this game, the baby crawls left towards danger. You click the button to move him back to the right, and if he reaches the fire, you fail. It's a very meaningful game, all about the desperation and tedium of endlessly confronting the demands of family life. I think the art world will really take notice. But of course, the message of the game only becomes clear once you've been playing it for about 4 hours. So why don't you give it 4 hours of play to make sure it's effective? Be sure to keep notes on your experience. You heartless bastard. Did you do it because you hate babies or purely to spite me? Because if it's the latter, well, I don't know what to do. I'm completely out of ideas. I can't think of a single thing that might improve the experience for me. I'm not even going to try. I'm out, I'm done. It's over. Thank you for playing. Your input was extremely valuable. Oh, hey, since my game was so awful, why don't we play someone else's game? Just to ease the pain. Let's see. What do we have here?
Minecraft.
Yes. This seems like
if it's Minecraft, we'll go back to the beginning.
Give it a shot.
Minecraft.
Aha! Fascinating.
This is not Minecraft.
What do you think this game is about, Stanley? What's
I have
our
no
backstory?
idea.
What is our motivation?
Life.
Well, it seems obvious to me that you are meant to play as a creepy man spying on innocent civilians below you from up high in your creep tower, perhaps for some sort of twisted erotic purpose. Yes, that must be it. What a fascinating venture into the experience of total mental depravity. So far, I love everything about this game, Stanley.
Oh,
and it seems
is
there's
that what it's
even
called?
more. Come, let's venture outward and see what else is out there. Oh no. No, it can't be. It is. It's an open world game. Good God, quickly block it off. Oh, thank goodness, Stanley. What a close call. You nearly wandered off into that thing, that big open, just wandering around, no right or wrong directions, no path to follow. You can just go in any... Oh, thank heavens we avoided it. We're out of the woods now, Stanley. Okay, I'm going to get us out of here. Let's find another game. Preferably something with walls. Something with nice, big, insurmountable walls. Okay, I think this will be just the thing.
This is new, so we'll keep it.
Wonderful. See, this is exactly what I had in mind. Just a nice big box for you to run around in. There isn't any possibility that you could get lost here. Now this is game design. Stanley, if you manage to get lost in this game, I will be phenomenally impressed. Okay, so what exactly do we do here? Let's see. There are lots of cars here in the back, but obviously there's no racetrack. Okay, I'm seeing that there's a ball of some kind back here. Is this game sports ball? Stanley, I think it's sports ball. Oh, what fun. We shall run the bases and do a touchdown together. Yes, I think surely we must. Okay, Stanley, here's the ball. Have fun. Hold on. What are you doing?
Well.
Stanley, don't do that. I can't follow you there. I can't help you. How will you write a story without me? You can't do it. You know that. Stanley, come back.
Oh, this is all the same. It's all the same here. So you drop down and you go into an office that's like yours, and the narrator says, "What is Stanley Troy supposed to look here?" If you want to see that, go to my last video, link in the description and in the card in the corner.
All
Right,
of his
last time to
co-workers
check
were
anything, if there's
gone.
anything new.
What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. Oh, new content?
How long
What
has
does
this
that
been here
mean?
for?
New content.
Hey, where are we going? When did I miss that?
Hello, and thank you for playing the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe. As you may know, the Stanley Parable was a video game released in 2013 on home computers. After receiving critical and commercial success, it was expanded upon in 2022 with the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, a reimagining of the game for consoles and home computers. The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe features exciting new content that broadens and expands the world of the Stanley Parable, delighting audiences the world over. Please, step inside and see what thrilling new adventures await in the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe.
Oh, well, this sounds delightful. I'm very excited to see the thrilling new Ultra Deluxe content. Okay, so far it's an elevator. Nothing special yet, but I'm sure it's just the beginning of a mesmerizing adventure.
I'm in new territory here. I have no idea what's going on.
Is it broken? What's going on here? Should we be moving somewhere or... Oh, there we go. All right, finally, at long last, it's on to the new content. I've never been more ready. Let's do it. I have to say, initial impressions of Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, mostly tedious. It's as if the... Oh, okay. Let's see the content. Give me the content, Stanley.
Oh, this way.
All right. All right, let's see. It's the
Ooh,
jump circle.
The jump circle. Jumps remaining. Okay. Oh, I can't jump anymore. Oh, that's interesting.
Is that it? Surely that's not all the new content. There has to be something else, right? Goodness. Another elevator. Stanley, I have to say, initial impressions of this game are not positive. It's just elevators and jumping. Is this what passes for exciting new content?
It's not
if
exciting.
This is new content, then I could just read you the whole dictionary. There's 20 hours of new
I think that'd
content
be more
right there.
exciting
Hell,
listening
I
to
could
this
count to
narrator.
30 trillion. You could put that on the box. The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, now with over 1,000 hours of new content. And oh wait, there's more. Very good. Yes.
Very good.
I knew there had to be something else. Let's see it. I'm ready for whatever it is. That's it? Oh, you've got to be kidding me. You see, Stanley? This is what happens when greedy video game developers with no respect for their fan base rush a cheap expansion to market for no reason other than to make an easy dollar. And don't get me started on the level of craftsmanship that's gone into it. In fact, I'm looking right now at the game's achievements, and it's hard to believe one of them actually says, "Test achievement, please ignore." What quality assurance department signed off on this? I'm infuriated and I'm offended, and I intend to find these people on Twitter and hold them personally accountable. It's my fault, Stanley. I built up too much anticipation around the new content, I'm afraid. It could never have lived up to such expectations. If you're still with me, why don't we just reset the game, and we'll try to get back to what the Stanley Parable is really about. No frills, no gimmicks. Just you and me having a great time together like always. What do you say, friend?
Right, we're going to end. Okay. We're not going to end the video here. We're going to see what this is. It's obviously new.
Stanley, come over here. In the vent. I want to
Oh.
show you something.
Okay. Fair enough. We'll end the video after this
Okay,
ending.
you remember how cheap and unsatisfying the new Ultra Deluxe content turned out to be? Well, it got me thinking about the past and how much better the Stanley Parable used to be. So I made something special and tucked it away here where the game's developers won't find it. Just our little secret. Take a look.
This was a tease.
I call it the Memory Zone. It's where I've been storing all my favorite memories so I can relive the peak experiences of my life whenever I want. Experiences like the launch of the Stanley Parable on PC.
You can't see my face right now, but I'm in awe.
You see, Stanley, doesn't the Memory Zone remind you of how wonderful Stanley Parable was before it was sullied with a cheap re-release? Remember back in October of 2013, when the game originally launched? Back then, video games had integrity. Back then, it all meant
That's
something.
the ending.
Oh, the waste.
Oh. So you know how I said there was a bridge in the distance? That's different. That's the original. Oh, wow. They made it a little bit more viewable. Time, indoor monthly, shapes, graphs, National Geographic, cargo. The Stanley Parable Collector's Edition. Was that a real thing? In today's busy world, it isn't easy managing an effective, productive workflow. To make great ideas even better. Oh no, that's part of the game. That's part of the game. 2014 Independent Game Festival Audience Award, The Stanley Parable. The BAFTA Award to in a category story. Oh, The Last of Us in this Stanley Parable. Wow. The original remake. Oh yeah. Hey, look, they used Firefox. The Stanley Parable was a remaster, wasn't it? What's everyone saying? Ah. Our First Kiss, My First Car, the release of Stanley Parable in 2013. The Stanley Parable by the narrator, 2013. Which is 30 minutes past 8. Smile because it happened. The Stanley Parable alpha test. Wow. No, I know it's a joke. Maybe, I don't know. But smile because it happened. The Stanley Parable is probably one of the best things to ever be made in gaming. I mean, you have games like Undertale, which are brilliant. You have games like Five Nights at Freddy's, which was brilliant. Mass Effect, which is another brilliant game. And then you have a game like the Stanley Parable, which takes the mick out of gaming tropes, whilst also being a very heartwarming and funny game itself. I mean, the developers, props to them. The original creators, props to them. It's an amazing idea that's all come together. And I don't really speak about stuff in that way, but the Stanley Parable it's just wow. I think the Stanley Parable is one of my favourite games to play, and it is now one of my favourite games again with this Ultra Deluxe edition. I mean, even took a joke at how sequels are. They're cash grabs, especially if the game doesn't need a sequel. I mean, look at the Mass Effect. It's a trilogy, it's a story, and the story cohesion from 1 to 3. But then Mass Effect Andromeda wasn't needed. No one asked for it. So it's a nice little, dig. Bits of music from the Stanley Parable, and the soundtrack for the Stanley Parable was amazing. The United States of America, $1. The Stanley Parable demonstration. I would love to play that. Unachievable. It's impossible to get this achievement. Go outside. Which is now 10 years. I've looked at the achievement. Well, no, I haven't looked at the achievement. I've heard of the achievement. It's now 10 years instead of 5 years. I think Crows actually said it themselves. Nominee. New video game releases today. Los Angeles Times. Stanley Parable deals tough choices. You know what's just grabbed me, like, surprising? The style of the looking out. For some reason it reminds me of Life is Strange. But maybe that's just because it looks like the art style. I ain't talking about 2 or Life is Strange 2 or True Colors. I'm talking about the first one. Isn't there a bit when you're on the top of a mountain in Before the Storm where you're with Rachel? Maybe I'm not remembering that correctly. Alright, let's go in.
And over here is where I keep reviews of the Stanley Parable. Like this stunning triumph of games journalism, 10 out of 10 from Destructoid.com. James Stephanie Sterling writes, and I quote, "Where so many games that aspire to be more than games end up less than any form of art, Stanley Parable strives and then succeeds to be every game ever created." Did you hear that, Stanley? Every game ever created. That's how grand and all-encompassing the original Stanley Parable was. It was literally every game ever created. It was Skyrim, it was Persona 3, it was all of them, and now it's nothing. It's no games at all. It isn't even the Stanley Parable anymore. It's just a husk now. A lifeless husk with an hour of new elevator content.
Aww. must game in this. I mean, I don't know if this is a true review, but yeah, Stanley Parable is a must-have. You must have it in your library. And I should mention, just because this has got the old game in it, if you've never played the Stanley Parable before, you should buy the original game and play through that first, and then buy the Ultra Deluxe edition, and then play through all this. And I haven't. This is still blind. This is all new to me. But you shouldn't not play the first game, because the first game has stuff in it. Obviously, you can play the first game through this game, but your curiosity will make you go through the new content. And there will be a warning. But if you've never, there will be a warning before the new content bit comes up. If you've never played the Stanley Parable before, or you want to play the Ultra Deluxe edition, then don't continue watching this video. But if you want to watch this video because you're never going to buy it, then continue watching. Yeah. That's what I was talking about. So the bit we done just before this, if you go through the blue door, the narrator takes you to Minecraft, and he builds up a little dirt hut. He tells you how wonderful it is with his building, and he's creating something beautiful. You can see all this in my last video on Stanley Parable, the 2013 one, and then he tells you to go mining. You don't want to go mining, and this is where it's like, oh wait, it's getting too open. Same thing with Firewood, I think it's called, where you don't move. It's too open. That's what I'm trying to say. What am I saying? It's too open world. And then the second game is more closed. Portal, Rocket League. The first one had Portal in it, which is funny because the video that comes out before this, both parts, is Portal 1, and I've completed it. And it's just funny. There's throwback to Portal. And then you have to go into this elevator, but it doesn't go in the elevator. No, you have to jump down the hole. And it goes, wait, where are you going? And that's what I done. I jumped down the hole because it's the second game. Let's begin again. But yeah, that's what I said. It's going to be Minecraft, and I was wrong. There we go. Yeah, look right there, Portal. And it isn't just taken from the game. That was made into the Stanley Parable. This game has definitely improved a lot. It's the lighting's a lot better. It plays smoother. Wait, that's the woman that... Oh, I didn't do the ending in this video, but if you go down the stairs where you have a set of stairs and you go down it, you go into the insanity ending because you realise that the narrator's talking to you, but how's he talking to you, and that door's closed behind you, and Stanley kind of dies, and this woman notices you on the floor, and it's like, this is a story of blah blah blah. She saw a man, blah blah blah. That's cool. See, you need to play the original one all the way through, finding every nook and cranny, and then come to this one a week later, a year later. This is coming after. So I uploaded the video. So the day I'm recording, I uploaded the video yesterday. It's 23 hours, but I recorded that video a week ago, and it's like, it's still fresh in my memory, but it's faded enough that this is what awing me. Oh, look at that! That's a cool car for Scott. Who's Scott? Haha. Playing the Stanley Parable. The Stanley Parable collection. Collectors. Top 10 memories. Your number is 29.
Here's another moving passage, this time from GameSpot.com. The Stanley Parable is both a richly stimulating commentary on the nature of choice in games, and one that offers some of the most enjoyable, surprising, and rewarding choices I've ever been confronted with in a game. 9 out of 10. Don't you get it, Stanley? The game was perfect. It didn't need anything else. It didn't need new content. It just needed to be left alone, to spend the rest of time collecting dust in the hallowed hall of beloved video game memories.
can't get over. The serious room. I would love to continue, but we can't get over. This door? No. Ah, this door. I guess.
These were simpler times, Stanley. But I wouldn't give to go back, to have it all over again. Wait, hang on. I don't recall this part of the memory zone before. What's this? What's down
Bye!
here?
Steam reviews.
Oh no. Oh God, no. Stanley, it's a collection of reviews from Steam, the online video game distributor. I haven't looked at these in years. I can't even imagine what's been collecting down here. Surely these reviews were glowing as well, weren't they?
Caution. There's positive
Honestly,
reviews.
I could not be bothered to play this game to full completion. The narrator is obnoxious and unfunny, with his humour and dialogue proving to be more irritating than entertaining. Unfunny! Trying to be funny. I'm trying to make a
See, he
serious
is
work of
funny.
art.
He
I
made me
suppose I could
laugh.
write up a handful of gags to insert into the Stanley Parable, but the game is already such a densely layered web of profound philosophical insights that I can't even imagine where I'd have the room to stick them. Okay, let's see what this one says.
There's positives.
While
though.
the idea for the game is good, for someone who prefers non-linear games, this preachiness gets annoying fast. Preachy? Stanley? I'm not preachy, am I? You can tell me if I'm preachy. Honestly, you can. Oh, goodness. This is actually quite shocking for me. To be honest, I had always thought of the game's dialogue as being rather terse to begin with. You can't know how much fluff I cut from the game to get it to feel as light and airy as it... Well, I always thought it did, but maybe it wasn't. Oh dear. What an awful memory to have to hold on to. These black marks are my otherwise unimpeachable track record. I feel like a failure.
Aww.
Like I let these people down. Perhaps the Stanley Parable isn't quite as sterling as I always remembered.
Aww. The Stanley Parable is a beautiful game. These people are wrong.
What's this one got to say? You constantly have to stop doing anything so the narrator can catch up with his long-winded explanations of what's happening. I wish there was a skip button. A skip button? Well, yes. Yes, I think we can do that. If I'm truly too preachy, then maybe letting you skip ahead for just a moment, surely it couldn't hurt. Not if it means we can strike these negative reviews from the record. Only positive reviews of the Stanley Parable. That's my motto today, and it's always been my motto. I'd do anything for the customer, Stanley. Yes, a skip button we shall have. And here it is. Go ahead and give it a shot. I'll pop you forward in time so that the second my incessant droning starts to bore you, with just the push of a button, you'll have zipped right past it. It's what the players have been asking for, and I'm very proud to have delivered. No more listening to me rambling on and on and on. No. The Stanley Parable is a game for the people, and if the people want silence, then by goodness, that's what they're going to get. Well, don't sit around waiting for me to shut up. Go ahead and make me shut up. Here, we'll pretend that I've just begun an interminable monologue, and it goes something like this. The story, and the choices, or what have you, and therefore, by becoming it is, so on and so forth, until inevitably, we all until the end of time, at which time everything all at once, so, now you see, blah 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 blah. We've eaten too much and it can't be just yet, no, until 245. That the logic of elimination working backwards, the deduction therefore becomes impossible to manufacture. It went on for nearly 10,000 years, until just yesterday, here and there, forward and back, and never a moment before lunchtime. It can't be. It's the only thing there is. How many billions left until so much more than forever ago? Which is why I say... The story, and the choices, or what have you, and therefore, by becoming it is, so on and so forth, until inevitably,
He's
we
repeating
all
himself.
until the end of time. Oh, you're back, you see. You were only frozen in time for a few minutes, but it was plenty of time for me to deliver a long, rambling monologue
No,
full
I
of
listened to
unnecessary
it.
verbal flourishes and lengthy ruminations on the nature of choice in video games. Of course, I happen to believe it was perhaps one of my more profound such ruminations. Not that, of course, you need a description of it, but if I had to describe it, I'd say it was perhaps less of a rumination and more of a treatise. Or maybe a manifesto. Look, I'll outline it for you very briefly and you can tell me what you think. Okay, so my theory is that any choice you've ever made is simply a series of...
I want to skip it to see what happens, but what he's talking about is amazing, and I just want to listen to it. So I'm going to put a timestamp here now, flashed up, so you can skip it. So you don't have to listen to me listening to the narrator rambling. There we go. That sounds like a good deal.
Choices made by the person who you are, or were, or will be at the time of having made said choice. That is to say, if by articulating a choice you've already made, you bring that choice into being, then by making no choice and saying nothing, are you not simply erecting in the sanctuary of time a monument to every person you've ever been, making every choice to which you've ever given your great gift of mortal and yet timeless thought? Or rather, do all of the choices you've ever made, in fact, make you more not this kind of person, and in fact do the very opposite? You see, it could in fact be both of these things at once, that you are both making choices and not making choices, and that they are both affecting you and not affecting you at the same time by virtue of the fact that you both are and are not making them. Okay, at first, I was leaning towards manifesto, but now I'm going to circle around and slap the treatise label on this one. I think it has much more of a treatise vibe to it. But wouldn't you say that manifesto just has a much grander sort of tone? It has a mouthfeel.
Now he's
It's
rambling
rich
on
with
about
ambition and
manifesto.
history. Ambitious history, if you will. See, now you've gotten me going back to manifesto. Heavens, at this rate, we're going to be here all day. Okay, look. I have a method for exactly this sort of situation, and I do find myself in this situation frequently. I'm going to say each word back and forth in repeated succession until I become sick of one or the other, in which case the word I am not sick of shall be the victor. It is an unimpeachable strategy, Stanley. It's rescued me from disaster in countless situations. All right, here we go. Treatise, manifesto. Treatise, manifesto.
And there we go.
Treatise, manifesto. Well, there's sport. You really did catch me rambling on a bit.
Oh, I
didn't
listened to you.
But that's the power of the button. The minute I start to go off on a thoughtless display of self-absorption, it's right at your fingertips to go poof, and it's all over. Oh, I can't wait to see what Cookie 9 will say about this, and whether they'll edit the rating of their Steam review, or at least change some of the wording, perhaps. To be honest, I don't even know if one can change their review in the first place. I guess I should become better educated on exactly how Steam works. Perhaps that would have been the smart thing to check on before I went about this whole exercise of making the skip button. Although I have to imagine that after seeing this exciting new technology at work, surely whoever it is runs Steam will instantly run out and implement a new feature to make it possible to edit one's review, merely because of this very situation. Yes, I think that's quite likely. Or perhaps they'll simply grant this particular user the ability to change their review, so that the feature is not widely abused. Look, I would even be okay with Steam altering this particular review so that it reads as something more beneficial, something along the lines of, "This game is the best game." Let me start over. How about this? From the ashes of depravity rises the phoenix of quality. How else to describe the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe? Such a revolutionary step forward in the lineage of one of the most beloved video game properties of all time. The additions and changes made to this expansion will surely resonate in the annals of the history of all media ever made. It is perhaps true to say that... Okay, welcome back, Stanley. Now, I should say that the amount of time the button has been skipping through is becoming longer and longer. That last one was, well, I want to say maybe 30, 45 minutes? It's not unendurable by any means, but it's, well, there's really only so much I can ramble on to myself about. I know, it's shocking, isn't it? But at any rate, I do suggest that we not press the button again. I think the skip button has been aptly demonstrated, and we can say goodbye to it and just... Wait, how do we get out of here? Where did the door go? Wasn't there a door that led into this room? I do feel quite certain that there was one here before. How else would we have gotten into the room in the first place? I don't think one can enter a room without a door of some sort, or a window or something like that. Do you see a window anywhere? A porthole? A sufficiently large crack in the wall? I'll take any of these. All I want is for us to move on and to please step away from the skip button, to go anywhere other than the skip button. There was a door here before, wasn't there? I swear there was. Where did it go? Can you maybe just ram your way through a wall? Is there any possibility that you could, say, slam your body into the wall until enough damage is done for you to be able to leave? Please, I'll take any option at all. I'm asking you to work with me here.
Wrong.
We need a door. We need a door of some kind. I can work with any kind of door as long as it can open and lead from one room to another. I'm going to step away for just a moment, and I'm going to try to find us a door. I don't know how exactly to remove a door and place it in a different wall, but I will find a way, I promise. You just need to not do anything. Don't press the skip button. Please, please do not press the skip button. Just wait here for me, and don't press the skip button. Got it? Yes, good. I'll be right back. Stanley, please don't push the button again. It's been 12 hours.
You didn't find a door then?
You've just been frozen there. I don't know why the skips are getting longer, but they're really, truly getting longer, and my God, there's no way out of this room. Stanley, the door is gone. It's completely gone. I've looked at it from every angle. I've checked every
I gave you 12 hours.
walls 1,000 times.
I gave you 12
and
hours.
There's no door, Stanley. There's no door. There's just you and the button, and if you keep pressing it, I have no idea what will happen. I have no idea how long I'll be made to sit here, and more than anything else, I don't know how to stop you from pressing the button again. I can't control anything in this room, Stanley. I can't touch it, and I have to believe, I have to know that sooner or later, no matter how much I plead with you, you're going to press the button again. Why would you? I've been thinking, and I don't know what I can do to convince you otherwise. Oh my God. And it's all because of those reviews that I couldn't get out of my head. I just couldn't ignore the negative feedback. Why was it so important for me to fix the problem? Why did Cookie Nine's opinion matter so much to me? I've never even met Cookie Nine. I have no idea who they are. What would it ever really matter? But here I am. I'm fixating on every tiny negative thing that anyone ever says about me. The merest mention of one of my imperfections, and I become as impetulant as a child. Wild and impulsive. I can't help myself. I can't stop myself from lashing out with a vengeful fury to alter and to change and to break anything unbroken, if only it pleases this one person who made a single negative comment.
I think it's pertinent to say at this point of the video, I've been recording for 2 hours. I have no idea how long this video is going to be, but this is the last ending, so hopefully it's not that long. Unless I make it that long.
Such an impulse served. For who's been...
Yeah, let's just skip ahead.
Stanley, you're back. You're back. Oh my goodness. I have someone to talk to again. Stanley, I think it's been a week. Or 2 weeks. I've been sitting here all that time. Just sitting here. Not a single person to speak with. And you'd think that that's just how it's always been, right? Me talking and you saying nothing. Would you think that it's exactly the same as always? Doesn't that feel like what we've already been doing? Me just talking?
No.
But it isn't, Stanley. It isn't the same at all.
Yeah, I know.
It isn't even close.
You're talking to me.
Because I know you can't hear me once you push that button. That's what I'm realizing now, Stanley. I'm realizing that I needed to know that someone was listening. I needed there to be a vessel through which my words were moving. It was the vessel I needed, Stanley. Not the outcomes, not the story. None of that matters anymore. I'll give it all up. I'll give up every branching path. I'll burn my story to the ground. One single thing I need, and God, I can see now that I need it more than anything, is to know that someone else is taking it in. These words that I'm saying, I need to know you can hear me. Because maybe, Stanley, maybe, if you can hear me, then maybe it means I'm real.
Ooh.
Maybe I'm not just a fiction. Was I scared of that all along? Perhaps, yes. Perhaps I've been scared this whole time, that if I stop speaking, I'll slip backwards into the silence and be consumed by it. I can't be taken by it, Stanley. I can't lose myself in the stretch of emptiness between you and me. When
Sorry.
you press that button,
I'm sorry,
you're
narrator.
still right there, but I know you're so... Oh, hello. It's you. You're here again. Welcome. I have had time to think about you and about us and about everything we've been through. I've had so much time, I stopped keeping track after a year.
Oh, God.
Have you ever sat down in one place and not moved for one entire year?
Can't say I have.
Let me describe it for you. To begin with, there is only regret. There is only the turning wheel of missed opportunities. I felt nothing at all but regret for the longest time, Stanley. Days, months. I lost it all in a blur of the deepest longing to undo the past. And when that feeling had begun to subside, what took its place is what I can only describe as the collapse of every moment I have ever experienced my entire life. All of them collapsed down into a single instant. In that instant, I could see myself clearly, calmly, with a collected heart. It was an impossibly rich wellspring of both delight and disgust simultaneously. I was consumed by it. I could do nothing but wallow in it for what felt like an eternity, for what I now know was far less. You see, it was a revelation for me. It was unlike anything I had ever known. It was a space without consequence, without action or outcome. It was divorced entirely
I'm sorry,
from the question
narrator.
of free
Gotta get
will
on with the video.
that you and I have squabbled.
Red light. That sounds like it's getting harder to turn around. The narrator's gone. Oh. That stopped working. There's a thin layer of dust as well. It was 521.
But they didn't understand the game was never meant to be funny. It was meant to have a point. It was meant to speak to the human condition. But where are the jokes? Where are the jokes? They bemoaned, they screamed, they gnashed their teeth and said, entertain us. It wasn't enough. They had to leave a pathetic little thumbs-down review and make all of their pitiful demands. But then, he's talking too much, they said. First, he didn't entertain us, now he won't shut up. It's the inconsistency, it's the lack of accountability. It's the unwillingness to examine with an uncompromising heart the words that they are speaking into the world. As though there were no consequences for a lack of cohesion in one's assessment of others. But of course, absolutely anyone can leave a review. So here's what we get. We get these demands that seek everything and are accountable to nothing. We get a world where someone will say, oh, there should be a skip button. You should be able to freeze Stanley in place while the narrator sits there forever and ever. We want all of this in the new Stanley parable. We demand it. And then, because it was said, because it was spoken, now it simply has to happen. The most immediate desires, every single thing demanded by every person at every moment in time. If someone wants it, then it's a crime not to bring it into being. Have we been given to indulging every fleeting whim for no reason other than to do so?
Service.
Yes! Yes! It seems that this is
Just
now
look
the
at the
world
Disney
we live
films.
in. It seems that we are a people living in such bleakness and discomfort with ourselves that...
Pause you there, narrator. That's a very touching subject there. Fans want something, so fans get something. You look at fan service for video games. One of my favourite games that I play has fan service, and that's Apex Legends. Fans require a nerf, and eventually a nerf will happen. Fans shout for this, and eventually it happens. Or look at the Star Wars or Disney Star Wars sequel trilogy, Force Awakens to Rise of Skywalker. The first film was fan service because it was like A New Hope, but with a different character. The second one was fan service because we got Luke Skywalker again, and then the final film was fan service because we got Palpatine again, and it's just ruined it because people ask for it, people get it, and it's not fun.
Our entertainment is now our life.
It has truly gone dead.
The end is never the end, 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 is never the end.
Oh, wow. That's leaking bad. Whoa! How long has it been? Damn. Oh wow. Look, I mean, it's falling apart and the narrator is well and truly gone, but there's nature. Oh, cool. Oh no. It's still turned to dust. Oh, I don't like this one. Let me get out of here. Oh, I didn't like that sound. And it's gone. Who's screaming? Oh, I don't like that. This is all that's left of it. Oh wow. Is that it? And we're back in the office. Alright. I know I said there's one more thing I want to do, but there is one more thing I want to do, and that's... Welcome, Stanley, to heaven. And I'm just going to take my headphones off and bring my microphone closer to my mouth so you can hear me better. That was touching, and I hope that's not the end of the new content. We're going to see what else is in this game next time in part 2. If you've enjoyed this video, please leave a like, and well, I'm begging, that sounds like I'm begging. Please leave a like if you wish to, if you've enjoyed this video, and if you want to see more of my content, hit a subscribe button. No, hit the subscribe button. My goal is 200 subscribers this time. And when I reach 200 subscribers, I'm going to do some sort of special, which I haven't come up with yet. My main goal is 1,000 subscribers, or 1k subscribers, but that's going to take a while, unless it doesn't. But if you enjoyed this video, leave a like, subscribe, and I will see you in the next video, which will be Stanley Parable Part 2. Peace.